Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Kayla, and here we love to talk about all things luxury beauty, luxury makeup, high-end beauty, high-end makeup, which, as I always say, are kind of the same thing, but I feel the need to say luxury and high-end. So anyways, today we are going to be talking about this beauty. The new Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Concealer. Y'all are in for a treat. So if you want to see this in action, as well as swatches and comparisons to other concealer shades, then just keep watching. Okay, so before I apply it, I want to do a couple of comparison swatches for y'all. So again, I have the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Concealer in the shade 0N0 Blanc. And so this is the formula. It's actually really thick, but I don't mean that in like a bad way. And you have a little doe foot applicator. And like I said, it is kind of thick, but it's okay, I promise. So it picks up a lot of product on the brush whenever you take it out of the tube. You really don't need that much, and I will show you that after I do the swatches. So here is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate in the shade 0N0 Blanc. So that's the color. Honestly, y'all, I have been finding that this is like my perfect shade of concealer, okay? So I'm gonna compare it to some of the other ones that I have and love. So next I have the Kosas Concealer in the shade 0.5N, and I really love this one too, y'all. So here is the Kosas in 0.5N. So honestly, the shade of those two are pretty similar. And there's somewhat of a similar finish, but I find that the Tom Ford has a bit more coverage than the Kosas, and you don't need quite as much to get that coverage. So next I have the Pat McGrath Concealer in the shade L1. Now, I love this concealer, and I've talked about it before, but it's almost too light for my skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it, and then I'm gonna give you a couple of thoughts. So here is the Pat McGrath in L1. So as you can see, it is a bit peachier than these previous two shades. And it, I would say, is probably the most full coverage out of those three, and probably one of the most full coverage concealers that I own. So I actually heard Lexi Jong, which if you're not following her, she's absolutely fantastic. I will link her page down below. But she had like the perfect description of the Tom Ford as compared to the Pat McGrath. They're similar in shade, but the Tom Ford, it shears out so much better, and it's not as stark as the Pat McGrath. And as you can see here, there's, like I said, they're similar in shade, and the Tom Ford still offers coverage, but it shears out and blends in a lot better than the Pat McGrath, in my opinion, and it's not quite as like bright and stark as the Pat McGrath. So next I have the Rare Beauty Concealer in the shade 130N. And y'all, I didn't realize how much I like this concealer until I saw how much I had used. It is a nice concealer. It doesn't have like a ton of coverage, but it is nice. So this is the Rare Beauty in the shade 130N. So I'd say it's less neutral than these other shades and more cool, just as compared to the other shades so far, but it is a nice color match for me because it does sheer out really well. So the last one that I have to compare it to is this Lancome, I had to look at the name, Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. Y'all know I have been loving this concealer, okay? I have it in the shade, the lightest one, 090. I love this concealer, y'all. Love it. So here's a swatch of that one, Lancome in 090. So as you can see, it is, I guess, the deepest shade out of all the ones that I swatched, but somehow it does work on my skin tone. It's definitely peachier and deeper, but overall, I think that this Tom Ford and this Kosas are the best shade matches for me. So again, from the top to the bottom, we have the new Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate, the Kosas in 0.5N, Pat McGrath in L1, Rare Beauty in 130N, and the Lancome in the lightest shade 090. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and apply the Tom Ford for y'all. Now, I have been wearing this, you guys, for pretty much every day for about a week now, and just wait. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it and show you how I apply it. So I don't really have to use much. Like I said, the doe foot does pick up a lot of product, so I really don't have to use a lot. And then I've just been using my beauty blender to blend it out. See how that little bit is just like traveling so far and spreading so far and so beautifully. Should have put my hair up for this one, y'all. I don't think I mentioned, I actually have on the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation because I haven't used these two. Oh my God, my hair. I haven't used these two together yet. And I figured since they're the same thing, they're probably gonna work well together. Okay, so I think I have blended her to high heavens. See what I mean? I really didn't use a lot, but that little bit just went so far. And it's brightening without being too brightening for my skin tone. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's not too full coverage. It creates a beautiful finish. I'm always gonna set it with just a little bit of powder. Today, I'm probably gonna use my Clé de Peau translucent loose setting powder to set it. And what I do with that is I just pick up a tiny bit on my beauty blender on the clean side and I just tap it in to kind of mesh the two together. And it's so, so beautiful. So this is the side with the foundation, the concealer, and this is the side without. And I'm gonna show y'all what else I've been doing with it. So I have been liking this. I don't like all concealers for this. I do like the Kosas one for this and the Lancome, but the other two that I showed you, I don't like them for this. But I have been finding that I do like the Tom Ford, and I like to add a little bit just right here around my nose because I do tend to get a lot of redness right there, and this concealer works beautifully for that area. So I just take it and kind of blend it around here. So beautiful. So I mean, you can obviously see the difference. This side has concealer, this side doesn't. It's a beautiful, beautiful finish. So I am gonna go ahead and finish up under this eye, finish the rest of my face, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished look. I tried to use as much Tom Ford as possible. I was gonna use Tom Ford eyeshadow, but if you saw my last video from this week, I picked up the Natasha Denona Retro palette and like, I just couldn't resist. I'm obsessed with it. But I did use, like I said, the Shade and Illuminate foundation. I used, well, I guess that's, I used the new Shade and Illuminate blush, which I will have a video on that going up next week. And I use one of the lip colors in Collin. I think it's from the Boys and Lips and Boys collection. I don't even know if it's available anymore. I've had it forever, but I love the color, so I can't get rid of it. But anyways, I digress. As you can see, the concealer works absolutely beautifully, y'all. I know that it's extremely expensive for a concealer, but if you're able to, and it's something that you're interested in, I really do highly recommend it. The foundation, the Shade and Illuminate foundation, is a pretty liquidy formula, but as you could see, the concealer was a thicker consistency. So I will say that with the tiny amount that you have to use, it probably will last you for quite some time. So I mean, I guess that's one way to justify it. But if you're a Tom Ford fan, I do not think that you will be disappointed. And throughout the day, like I said, I've already worn this. It does wear so beautifully. I mean, you know, I do get a little bit of creasing over here, but that's literally with any concealer that I own, just because I smile a lot. I have a lot of expressions. So that's to be expected. But overall, you guys, maybe I'll have to do a concealer ranking video one day, but I know if this is not the top one, it will be up there. I haven't had it long enough for it to dethrone like my Shiseido or this Kosas one, but it's getting there. So anyways, y'all, let me know in the comments down below, have you picked this concealer up? If you have, what are your thoughts on it? If you like my content, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button for this video. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's at beautybykaylak. I'd love to see you over there too. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.